You're going to lose the Western teams that have been here for 2 years because they don't want to travel over. I think we're an anomaly. I mean, we want to play this tournament because it's the only games we get besides playing Groton, you know? Right. So we have to come to this.
I'm in charge of the Dakota League, and we tried this year, and I mean, Mitchell was, I mean, they pretty much took over for it because I just wasn't getting the support that I needed, and some of the teams can't come, and
but I know we couldn't compete in that league. I know we couldn't.
Centralized, you know. So I mean, if we can get it back to,
I think you'd be surprised. I don't know.
We play Groton. We play Groton in here. When we go down and play Watertown, we play their 14s.
What grade are you?
We're U19s, but we have to play from 7th grade to 19 to actually field teams.
Chamberlain.
So I mean,
but if you put together the league, see the way the league should work.
They have a lot.
Because I've set up leagues before for other things.
And that's 4 hours.
The way the league should work is
that's a thought too.
Everyone enters their teams, and then the person who's scheduling the games looks at the evaluates each team. You don't make it by age group; you make it by skill level.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
So if you're scheduling them for like Mitchell U16. Okay, well, what's their skill level? Well, the coach says, we're a 2 or a 3. Right. Okay, out of what? Out of 10. Well, okay, so now I know you're not. And I'm not trying. I'm not saying.
No, but
that would be nice. They do that in basketball, but coaches don't tell the truth because they want to build confidence in their teams. They want to win. It's ridiculous when you go up to a basketball tournament in Rapid City. We're playing them. What did their coach write then? They're like.
Well, but that's where it comes back to the research. I mean, you know, if you have a coach, because and Randy and I've been around this a long time, and I can tell you, I can name off the top of my head 10 coaches that I know. If I call them and say, "What's the skill level of your team?" "Oh, we're about a 3 or a 4. Bullshit. You're about an 8 or a 9. Okay, we're not going to go for that. You know, if you call me and ask me what the skill level of my team is, I'm going to tell you, well, we're an 8, or I've been known to say, we're about a 1 or a 2. It's pretty bad.
But if you, I'm new at the U19 program, so if you would have asked me what is the skill of your team, well, we went undefeated this year. So I would have said, we're about a 6 or a 7. Just, thinking, we did great. The kids did great. But then we're not a 6 or a 7 compared to.
Right. But then you look up to who you played. Because if you look in a league like my teams that I coach, we play in the Midwest Regional League. And when you play in the Midwest Regional League, you got to enter in your games, who you've played, backgrounds and stuff, and it's detailed. Right. And it takes a little bit of time, I'm not gonna lie, but it helps to build that background. And then the coaches get called and they give an evaluation, the DOCs get called, and the state DOC gets called. Okay, this coach said his team is this, now what do you think? Right. And then you get a pretty good, not exact, but a pretty good idea what you're dealing with. Sure. And I think for what you're talking about, I think that's what you need to do. Is everyone put their name in the hat. Who wants to play? Give us an evaluation of your team. Fill out a format, kind of like the MRL does. Yeah. This is your background, who you played, how you did last year, what you do at state rec tournament, and then you can formulate where you should play and who you should play.
As the VP of this, I can look at all of the brackets and everybody that's coming. Before we get here, I don't know you until I get here and actually watch you. And so I'm not behind the scenes of putting everybody in their brackets and stuff like that. So for me, it's, an eye-opener.
You have to go with what people tell you.
When I come here, it's like, so.
Well, and the league that Chris is talking about, the MRL, there's constant movement in that every year. Yeah. People may be better than they realize they are. They may be worse than they think they are.
And they get promoted and demoted.
Sure. They have to deal with it for that season, but they don't do it again after that. And that takes a lot of work to put a league together, to keep it going. Yeah. As you know.
Oh yeah. So if you want help with that, let her know, or I'm in Pierre, so I'm on your.
Yeah, the only way we can improve it.
I'm on both sides of the state. We swing both ways, west and east.
Well, first of all,
I hear you.
And I'm from Britain. We in this email that we last got of trying to get a referee signer up. It says that you have to be a referee first before you can be a signer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of like, in some ways, we're not only tying our hands about our legs and trying to make soccer, easy and fun.
That's good.
I think signer, Mitchell?
No. Well, first of all, nobody would return our emails.
And Huron doesn't have.
Chad.
Come
here.
I'll be honest with you. Mitchell is to the point where we don't want to deal with the state anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. Matter of fact,
She's
Eastern
got-
South Dakota doesn't want to deal with the state anymore.
She's
We
got
are
a,
so
she's got an issue
frustrated.
with you.
You're not getting responses back from them. They're not helping you out. Wow, that's stunning to hear.
She has an issue with you about the referees. This right here is Chad Landis. He's the SYRA. He's the man in charge.
For this weekend, you got him on camera.
Yeah.
Got us on. Well, we've been trying to get somebody to be a signer and trying to get information in Mitchell, and nobody would return our emails.
Can I step off camera and get some papers for you so you can contact me? We have a class, statewide class. It's
But it
the
also says
second
that you have to
weekend
be
in
a
July.
referee first.
Not to be an assigner.
That's not what, and somebody forwarded an email to us. That's not what the email says.
I'll have to look.
I'll say one of the biggest problems with that is we don't get emails
You
until
just have
2
to
days
take the
beforehand.
assigner course, right, Chad?
have
That's
to
some of the
take the
problem.
assigner course.
Yeah,
There's
That's
a lot
our
of
problem, I
assigners
think.
in the state that aren't referees.
Yeah,
You
that's
just have
true.
to take that
It's like a 5-hour
5-hour
class.
course.
That's our biggest
And
problem. We see the
you know,
emails.
I for one, I'm.
Can I speak to his comment?
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know what was said before I came over to the table here. If you're not getting information, contact your district representative at the state board level.
And who's that?
That's mine is Deb Becker, and that's
I don't know
like
where you're.
14th, so
Off the top of my head, I don't know who's.
I'm sorry.
works for
Well,
what reason.
here's,
gotta be honest,
here's,
we're
here's the
being
nice thing. You guys, what you guys are talking about for communication, you got the third VP right there. That's email
I'm sorry.
her.
I'm going to pick on Grown. You dealt with Grown, or whoever dealt with Grown today. They make it the best for them, no matter what. It is the best for Groton all the time, no matter what. Deb will say, we want to come play a game. Well, you're going to have to play 3 games. I said, well, how many of you guys going to play? 1. Well, how does that work? Well, we want to do a triangular with Watertown and Huron, and you're the 3rd team or the 4th team, but you have to play all those other teams, but we're only playing 1 team.
Well,
how
the
the hell?
communication at the state level, there's enough information in the database that information should go to every association.
Yeah.
And if we're failing at the state level, shame on us. That should get out there. I mean,
Because, yeah, we don't see it. Like, if there's a referee clinic or a coach's clinic, we won't see it until
That should
like
all
2 days
come to
beforehand.
your president of your association.
Yep.
Well,
They
that's
get every single
right
email,
there.
and,
That's
you're,
me.
and your registrar, and you're not getting them? Because they're out. I mean, they.
And
they
it
do
might
go
still,
out.
we've just switched too, so it might be
Okay.
just a thing
And so
there.
you just make sure that
I'll
you
get it to
email
you.
me or somebody on the
Yep.
state and say, I'm not receiving stuff. I need to get
So
stuff.
that's-
I would just go with her because
Yeah,
you know you
just-
got
and-
somebody
just
here.
email
Well, I
who
had
do
your
something.
email.
and
Yeah.
shameless plug, stay
I mean, I
connected to
answer
Soccer
emails
605
immediately.
because they put everything on Facebook or Twitter on all that information.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Sometimes too much.
And I'm sure this video will be one of those. That's too much. But that's why I want you guys to come and talk, because this needs to be seen. You know, I mean, your frustration, that needs to be seen.
Yeah.
It is frustrating.
Or
You
we
know,
won't be seen.
I've been there before.
I would, if I don't coach next year, I'll definitely warn the coach, this is what's gonna happen to you. Because it happened last year, this year, you know, 2 years in a row.
And we want to make that
That's not
different. I don't want that to happen next year.
I don't either.
I mean, I don't want your.
Because this is a really fun
I don't
tournament.
want your experience
Or could
of
have
2
been.
years in a row to ever happen again, because
Yeah.
it's not right.
Yeah.
And I'll take responsibility for last year, because I was one in charge. So for the bracketing and stuff,
I understand. I mean, we
Right here.
all are busy and shit happens. I mean, I get it, but if you're coming to a tournament, that shouldn't happen consistently.
You have a right to expect it to be professional or as close.
Well, and I asked Phil Fouche, I said, did you sign up for the Rec A? And he said, no, I signed up for Rec B. He's in Rec A. So I don't know.
Unless there wasn't any Rec B teams? Or?
None of
No,
us,
there's-
yeah, there
there's two-
was.
there's two.
None of us here in this area belonged in the Rec A. We all belong to the Rec B. So.
I mean, why does soccer have to be so hard? Why can't it be easier, like, let's say, the basketball program, where, meaning that there's games set up. I mean, you can pull up a schedule and here's the games for the whole season. And I know you guys are talking about tournaments, but it's like, if you don't get games in, who cares about a tournament?
This is our 3rd
Right.
game.
So why can't we just get game schedules going?
Okay, our game schedule is awesome. We did have a game schedule. In the fall, I think they have to
Excuse
travel
me.
to the Eastern State more. But like, we had all home games this year.
See, I'm talking
10 all
about
home games.
non-high
Everybody
school.
traveled. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's just it. If we don't have a strong youth program,
right.
there is no high school program.
Right.
That's our program, and I can speak because we're growing. I mean, we have 140 kids, including our high school. Take a high school out, we have 100 kids.
So how
you know.
are you guys? I mean, like, we have to be sanctioned by the school in another year, or
We
we're
don't
not
do
going to have a
anything with
soccer
it. We have
program.
no association with the school at all. The school wants nothing to do with us at all.
But
So-
doesn't everybody have to be sanctioned?
Well,
I don't know because
If they got
there's
the money.
yeah,
They gotta have
the
money.
state is not gonna do a high school tournament after next year.
Right.
But they're, you know, the alternative to that is having U19 rec programs around the state to play each
And
other.
that's what we play now.
But what we're telling people, and you know, Soccer 605 took a strong stance on that. You need to get organized in your local community, and you need to get down to the school board members, and you need to call them, and you need to hammer on them. I know we were there at Harrisburg the night of the vote, and the room filled up with people, and I was expecting a battle in there. You know, we were there, we had our cameras all going, and so they went through a couple agenda items. They got up to soccer, and the vice president said, well, I see all you people wanting to talk about this, but there's not any need, because I'm going to motion right now that we sanction it immediately.
Wow.
And it's just like
to our
you
school
took
board
all the
meeting?
air out of the
Ours too,
room, because they
please.
were ready for a fight.
There's no way. I know our principal won't sign us.
Well, who's in charge of the principal?
School board.
And who's in charge of the school board?
Yeah.
The voters. And, you know, and that was the one thing that these school board members were saying. They were saying, I cannot believe how many phone calls and people on the street and down at the grocery store have been on me about doing this. And, you know, Harrisburg the year before had said no. They said no. So just that activism and that insistence. And, you know, the reality is, I really think time is on your side. But you got to mobilize your people and get them going.
But I think our little
It's a
schools, like
financial-
our schools, though, it's a financial
thing.
And
They
then,
can't-
you know, we're a country town. You know, all the people are football. Well,
we won't ever do high school.
you know, our problem is our future in soccer and stuff is all these younger kids. But you look at, and I'd like to look at our school and stuff and say, wow, who's been your kickers for football? Huh? Isn't that funny? They have a soccer background.
But don't you think it's because soccer's so disorganized? I mean, I'm speaking for eastern side of the state. It sucks.
You know, I'm not going to say Belfouches. I was on our board for 13 years back before we had big blow-ups and issues, and I'm not going to say that. I think that our school is just being very resistant. I mean, we have a hard time, I know it's not about indoor, but we have a hard time even trying to get gym space. I mean, it's like
Well,
pulling
that's
teeth.
every
Oh,
town.
When you say it's disorganized, what part are you, I mean, what part are you talking about?
I'm talking about, first of all, as to build the soccer program within the state, there should be fundamentals being taught at the youth level. I mean, you look at, like I said, the little basketball camps, the little football camps, the little wrestling camps. I mean, they're all
You wanna see
designed
more.
to feed into the high school programs. There is no program for soccer designed to feed into a high school program. So as a parent, you're kind of sitting here saying, I got to choose. Because let's face it, it's the parent that says, you're going to play soccer, you're going to play basketball. Why? Because who's organized? Which group is organized? It's not soccer.
Wouldn't that be the head coach's responsibility of the soccer team?
But
To set up the camps and to build?
there's camps, but it's like, where's the game schedule? Again, I'm talking about youth. There's no game schedules. It's a matter of us calling, saying, hey, you want to meet in Huron, and you want to meet in Huron, and we'll
Yeah,
play
that's how
this
we do
weekend.
it.
Don't you
we have
have
a Northern
soccer
Hills.
coordinators?
Where they coordinate. They meet in Spearfish.
No.
Every
and you have
Eastern South
Spearfish,
Dakota
like
functions on their
The
own.
I mean,
U6,
we have a
has a
scheduling
coordinator. The
program.
U8 has
Yeah.
a coordinator.
Absolutely
Well, then you
not.
need to get them on your board.
But the problem is it gets to be club. We used to play in Aberdeen, and now Aberdeen, and no offense to Steve Cogley, but Steve has made it go to all club. He wants to develop his club up there, so he's taken the rec fund out. He wouldn't, like I said, he wouldn't let Groton in this year. You know, and I'm not going to go down there and play against a bunch of kids that have had 4 practices and 3 games in a week. I mean, that's disheartening to my kids, my 8-year-olds, and my personal 8-year-old. He's not going to go down there and play against that. I'm not going to put him through that because it's not fun. It's not fun. You know, they don't get the ball past half because you have a 4-person U8 team, and they're doing freaking triangle passes.
So they become golfers
You know,
and football
that's-
players and
that's not
baseball
fun.
players.
So at Mitchell, like for your rec season, do you have like 8 U12 teams that could play? You don't. So that's
We have, right now, we have a park and rec program, and then we have us.
So okay. So
Okay, our park and rec program sucks. It's declined so bad this year, considering how great our soccer fields are.
and it's run by your park and rec.
Yes.
Okay.
And what we do is say, hey, you want to come and join us over here? And then here we are. We've sheltered our parents so bad because of how unorganized. I mean, it's like, hey, I know it's Thursday, but we just found out we can play in Huron on Saturday.
That happens to us
Okay, and
all the time.
that's what maybe that part of it is yours is your park and rec. So if
Park and rec has nothing to do with us.
no, I know, but if you could get more kids into your
But
to Mitchell.
But every town's this way. There is not a good, strong park and rec program to feed into anything.
Right.
Because our high school coach, and most high school coaches will say, this is what I got to work with. And no offense against the high school kids, but where were they taught? They were taught by, Jim Bob's dad, who said, okay, yeah, fine, I'll coach this season.
I'll babysit them for
We're
But
going
like
to
Brookings, we're no part of.
We're going to make actual
Brookings is
manuals
no
for
part of the
U6s
park
and
and
8s
rec.
and 10s and
We
give them to
have,
the coaches
we are
and say,
all our own
here.
association.
You know those manuals are out there, right?
Yeah, we're going to find them.
We went away from our
What
park and
website are
rec.
they on though? I can't find them.
And
There's a thousand. of them.
Everywhere.
Actually.
They're everywhere.
Well, and then there again, we deal with gym space.
If you're going to have a coach,
Park
they
and
have
Rec
to have the
controls
same,
gym space.
same stuff. And
USU
Ours is
soccer.
our school board.
There's a soccer
And we
workbook.
find-
Was there one on there?
Yep.
I've looked
There's-
for it and I couldn't find it.
Under resources.
Yeah.
Well, and let's face
Go
it,
under
I mean,
resources,
we've
there's
got
a
If there-
workbook.
so
I
bad.
can
There's a
come
5-page
as
thing for
the
every age
VP
group.
of the state
And that's what we
to
need
come
to
and
do.
With the new
talk to
coaching
you guys
guidelines?
and help with anything.
Yeah, that's-
I should
That's
put a link
why
on
I'm
the
here.
Soccer 605.
I am willing
Go directly
to.
to those.
And that's,
I will
I think
travel
that's
there
where
and
I've got it
that's
downloaded.
where we
Trying to get
fail
things
the
going.
youth a lot, is because
But
you do have Jim Bob and you have
It's kind of like it's not just us, it's every town
They don't know what's
needs
going on.
a good, strong,
Yep.
to say,
Foundation.
we want to grow our soccer program, but how do we do it?
And that we're here to help you. I mean, I think everybody here will help.
We want to thank you guys for doing this. We have a thank you gift over there, and I don't want to shut the conversation down. I just want to give you permission to go. Did I give you a card earlier?
Yes, I have one.
I knew it. Thank you.
So I gotta get over there and get them warmed up.
Yeah,
so.
we gotta go.
Do you have games still?
No, I use
Yeah.
my
Yeah, you gotta give me-
my-
You wanna
my
make sure and go,
grandfingers.
Okay, yeah.
get your gift. Thanks so much.
I know
I
where they
went
are.
to school
Thanks so
there.
much.
Thank